Has this ever happened to you? So you picked up a Nintendo Switch, a copy of Smash Ultimate, a GameCube controller, and an adapter. You grab that delicious cartridge and pop it into your console. After dozens of hard work hours, you finally beat the World of Light and unlock the entire roster. Finally, you're ready to play some matches online. You go to select your character and... I don't know who to main in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for the Nintendo Switch! Fear not, new player. Wait, what? Who's there? Who said that? With 83 unique characters and 5 more on the way through DLC, picking up a main in Smash Ultimate can be difficult and overwhelming when starting your Smash career. Luckily, you've got the help of me, a 23-year-old Smash Bros. Player with thousands of hours of playtime across every entry in the series, and a severe vitamin D deficiency. How's it going, folks? My name is Jacob, and today I'm here to give you 5 tips that you can use to help narrow down that roster and select your main. With my advice, you'll be on your way to Elite Smash in no time. Think of me as the waiter recommending you a delicious meal at a buffet. Damn, I'm hungry. Now, before making your single most sacred decision of your entire life, what exactly is a main and why are they so important? Well, much like that one subject you were good at in high school, your main is the character that you perform best as. You use them the most frequently, you learn all their combos inside and out, and you pull them out in the most serious of grudge matches. Also, like in high school, it's the one grade that you can show off while ignoring your failure at every single other subject, or in this case, character in the game. Now that you understand the value of having a main, it's time to find yours. Let's have a look at these tips. Tip number 1. Use everyone at least once. Look, no one understands their taste without sampling first. Ask a baby, that little idiot will have no idea what food he likes until he finishes his damn plate. Right, sorry. As a metaphorical Smash baby, it's important to learn your taste by giving every character a shot, even if you just play them once. So hop into friendlies or try to play a few rounds against the CPU with every single character on the roster. This method is perfect for players that are starting on a new profile, since every time you get to unlock a new character, you can play a game or two with them before you reach your next unlock. While these characters' combos may not come natural to you just yet, at least get a feel for each character's movement, recovery, and toolkit. Do you find yourself leaning towards the powerful, chonky heavies? Or maybe you like dying young when you play as any of those speedy lightweights. Hell, maybe you fall somewhere between those two extremes and you want to play a more balanced character. Learning the options that you have available will help you determine which characters come most naturally to you. Let's use my main, Banjo-Kazooie, as an example. I prefer playing fast to average speed characters, and Banjo ranks as the 11th fastest character in the game. I mean, he's not taking home any awards here, but at least he stands a better chance than poor old Incineroar at the bottom of that list. Banjo has some really good recovery options, with 2 mid-air jumps, a vertical up B, and a temporary side B that gives him some good horizontal distance while keeping him invulnerable for a limited time. In terms of a moveset, the dynamic duo have a nice mixture of projectiles, aerials, tilts, and throws that provide them a ton of variety in the neutral game. Tip number 2. Learn your playstyle. As you test the waters for your future main, you may notice a common pattern in your gameplay. No, it's not the sign of onset insanity from playing 83 different characters. What's going on is you're practicing and developing your playstyle. Honing in on your playstyle is an important component of helping you pick effective characters that work on your strengths. Let's run through a few examples of playstyle patterns and who excels with them. Do you enjoy trapping your opponents in an endless stream of attacks, chasing them down with short-range combos and making them regret picking up the game in the first place? Wonderful! You'd do well with a rushdown type character, someone like Fox, Pikachu, or Sheik. Do you like to camp at the side of the edge and avoid all confrontation at all costs? You're a terrible person. But you do well with Samus, Link, Wii Fit Trainer, or Villager. Do you like to pretend to have a huge brain and precisely time every single action to punish your opponent's every move? Honestly, just pick any enemy sword fighter and you'll probably have some luck with them. Do you like not playing the game?
You're too slow!
Some characters don't fit perfectly into these archetypical molds, and they may have multiple strengths. Min Min, for example, can be played both offensively by carefully spacing her attacks, or you can use her defensively by running away and mindlessly mashing her long-range arm attacks. Now admittedly, I don't really follow this advice all too well. I know Banjo excels at playing the zoning game. I mean, call him COVID negative because this bear definitely practices social distancing. However, his kit is diverse enough to allow me to play a more offensive playstyle. He's no rushdown fighter by any means, but this balance allows me to use him somewhere between the two extremes between camping and just beating the hell out of my opponents. Tip number 3, practice, and practice. So you've gotten familiar with everyone and figured out your playstyle. Congratulations, you're ready to finally pick your main. Using the knowledge that you've assuredly accumulated over the dozens of hours it took you to figure this out, it's time to find a fighter that accommodates your playstyle and feels just right for you. Once you've come to a conclusion, look up the combos that your character can perform, and practice them in the training mode. Watch YouTube videos of professional players competing in tournaments using your chosen character, and get an idea of how they handle different situations. Just make sure none of them have touched any children first. Now, the more often you train and play casually with friends, the more natural your character will begin to feel. Given enough time and patience, you'll be able to compete at local tournaments whenever those open up again. And there you have it, a foolproof plan to help you locate and master your main. But wait, Jacob, I hear you say. I thought you said you had 5 tips for us. Well, I say foolproof, but unfortunately some fools just tend to slip through the cracks. It's not airtight after all. So for anyone who's not satisfied with this method, there are 2 other, shall we say, less scientific methods of finding your main. Tip number 4. Select the character you like most. Sometimes, even when their playstyle matches yours, you don't find yourself attached to the fighter that you've selected. You may like using sword fighters, but trust me, I don't blame you for not vibing with Corrin. I mean, she is the most bland character in the entire roster after all. We ultimately play Smash Bros to have a good time. And if your character isn't feeling fun to you, you may enjoy the game more by using a character that you have a pre-established connection to. Do you have fond memories of playing Final Fantasy VII as a kid? You may enjoy using Cloud and seeing the in-game references that make up his moveset. This is generally a more casual mindset to picking characters. Why do you think so many little brothers and girlfriends pick up the Mario Brothers? It's not for Luigi's grab combo, or Mario's
Forward aerial.
but at least these 2 beautiful Italian immigrants are some familiar faces in a sea of gaming nobodies. Now this is actually the reason why I picked up Banjo-Kazooie. I loved their games when I was a kid, and finally being able to use them in Smash gives me more joy than picking up my old mains from the past games. And just like what happened with me, you may even find that as you use your favorite characters more often, your playstyle will change to fit their strengths. Now even if your childhood nostalgia can't help you decide, there is one more surefire way to help you pick your main. But you honestly have to give up your soul in order to use this method. Tip number 5, picking characters based on tier lists. While I don't really recommend this method at all, at least not before you've used the other 4 tips, some people are only in the game to win, and so they'll only think that they'll be successful by maining the top characters in the game. Now look, if you would simp over Palutena, go nuts with her. But picking Palutena up just because she's unanimously considered one of the best characters in the game will inevitably lead to frustrating practice with little to no improvement in her character. If her playstyle is incompatible with yours, you may actually end up playing worse than if you had just picked a mid-tier character that comes more naturally to you. In conclusion, just don't be a tier whore. Not only will you be left miserable as a result, but other players will notice your try-hard tendencies and avoid you at all bloody costs. So hopefully, using my 5 tips, your journey to finding your Smash Bros main will come a little bit easier. Remember, your main goal should be to have fun. Yes, it's frustrating when a stupid motherfucking miserable baby Sonic player knocks you out of Elite Smash, but you'll constantly learn and adjust your strategy for next time. Mastery requires practice after all. Now, if you're going to be on the more competitive side, you'll definitely want to pick some variety in your character choices, and you'll probably want to pick up a secondary.
Woohoo!
Wait, what? A secondary? Thanks for checking out the video. I hope you found it both useful and entertaining. This video took quite a while to put together, so if you enjoyed it, please be sure to leave a like or give me some feedback in the comments below. Also, maybe you consider giving that subscribe button a click. It's very lonely and just wants a friend. And with all that jazz out of the way, thanks again for watching, folks. Until next time, take care. Guys, seriously, don't eat a Nintendo Switch cartridge. I've had the taste in my mouth for the last 5 minutes and oh my god, it's fucking raw.